Hello everyone, welcome back to Andy's channel again. Today I want to explain an extremely complex topic about the economic crisis in the easiest way. Folks, let's go! When you think about the economic crisis, what will show in your brain? The bankruptcy of enterprises, millions of people losing their jobs, lots of goods services nobody want to buy, or even others. Actually, the core of economic crisis is debt crisis. This is the most significant and earliest one of the economic crisis. Since uncountable debt was created during our economic behavior, including the government, financial institutions, enterprises, and every single man. The purpose of this debt for many diverse ways, such as investment, consumption, and exports. But actually, the debt was created not really wealth existed in this planet. They are created without any payment. They are from NP. So this wealth you need to pay in the future, and everyone needs to experience the negative consequence. When there are no so much debts that all society can pay, the crisis was coming. Uh, This is an extremely complicated process, though even nobody knows how the process happened, including the politicians, economists, entrepreneurs, and the bankers. But I'm going to explain this process by a very simple way and make sure everybody can understand. Firstly, almost everyone and every institutions will borrow money from different areas. Normally, it's credit debits and mortgage debits, and use the money to invest. For example, an entrepreneur called Leak debits $5 million from the banks and invests a factory, tries to produce numerous industrial products and sell it. And Leak's behavior is invested behavior. He hired many work of him and tried to produce many products and give the workers 1,000 week salaries. So according his investment and debit, the unemployment declined and the consumption power increased. So economy become more prosperous. And Nick's business was so good. He only cost 3 years to finish the payment of his debit and earn over 5 million profits. So during the 3 years, Leak had paid over 2 million taxes and banks, governments, his employees, and him benefit much from his debit. It's like everyone happy, right? And after a few years, the property's price increased a lot, especially Tom's property. Their house price increased from 1.5 million to $3 million. A lot, right, people? Uh, so Tom and Sophia feel like on the sky and increase their consumption budgets even far more than when the young age. So folks, until now, still happy story, right? Tom and Leeks got very beautiful picture of their life. And we focus back to Leek, okay, the factory. Since Leeks earned over 5 millions by the debit from bank, he was trying to explore his production and scale of his business. So he debits from bank again, okay, and this numbers up to $30 million. Leek's factory become large scale and produce multiple products. Leek wanted to sell overseas, a big market called China. Okay, folks, we can get a conclusion right here. Okay, Leek had 50 million wealth and 30 debits. So he with 20 million net wealth, and Tom had 3.2 million wealth with a million debit. So the net wealth of Tom is $2 million. So they are rich people now, right? Leek takes his business and Tom have a good job. They seems had better and better future. But some things must be going wrong. Are they really so rich like looking? What make them so rich? Where their net worth and high living standards come from? I believe smart audience you guys Sim already know that. All their wealth built on debits. Millions of dollars debits is the fundamental of their wealth. So after the good story, we are diving into a bad story from now on. Mm, Not only Tom and Leaks borrowed numerous money, but all millions of people in America. Then even some billionaires, they borrow the money to buy Boeing 747 private jet for their sky policy. Many people debit capital to buy luxurious cars and houses. Some brave people even bought more than one. And the mysterious things come. Where this wealth come from? Are the people and the whole society really created so much wealth? Absolutely, they were lot. Tom's house up to $3 million from $1.5 million. Since lots of people like Tom's debit much money to bought properties. Since they also want to get better life just like Tom. A Boeing company can sell so many private planes since the buyers has good business and borrow lots of money from bank. They were not a lot so rich like they looked. But seem everyone got better lives, even the best, even the players. They got more incomes and always bought the Black Ripple whiskey to drink. If this perfect situation can last forever, that was what a breathed word. People's life get better and better, and nobody need to pay for that. So, folks, actually in this time, the seed of economic crisis have created. But why? Be patient of my next experimentation. Leak has an employee called Tom. He tried to debit $100,000 from the bank and bought a sport car. He had a super happy life since he's young, but have a sport car. I think every young man want to own a sport car, right? Tom used this to attract sexy girls called Sophia and fall in love with each other, and married very soon. After marriage, Sophia became a housewife, and Tom's family live a happy life. After marriage, Tom was working very hard and got better and better salary. So Tom and Sophia want to buy a good furniture house with swimming pool and yoga room. So they went to bank and borrow $1 million, okay, a million. As their saving and support from Sophia's father come to $500,000, and they bought a house which was $1.5 million. Okay, this house was so charming, and Tom's family moved into. This is also a happy story, right? The sales, uh, the sales of the house Sarah benefited 15,000 commissions, and properties lawyer Andy earned $2,000 lawyer fee. But the facts and history has told us many times the best word law is in our world. Since the debts of all society need to pay. So when the debts keep going until the bone print, the whole society couldn't afford the payment of the debts. The debts crisis was coming, and this was the start of the economic crisis. I also want to take an example of Chinese one. Okay, a super famous property developer called Hengda Group, which is the largest developer in China uh, and the world. Okay, in the last 20 years, they use all their power to debit capital from all places. They can not only banks but also bonds issues enterprise. Not only China but also all over the world. Honda owned American governments, enterprise, and personal over 1.3 billion of dollars. Uh, they use the money to buy lands and never mind the prices. The Honda became the largest company property of properties, and uh, the boss of Honda become the richest man in China. But Honda actually in debt over 300 billion dollars. They tried their best to maintain, but they couldn't play this financial game forever. Since the debts are so much money that they can't clean them even 100 years. The wealth of Honda are not really wealth. It's based on uncountable debts. Okay, so we focus back to the Leak, the factory owner. Leak's factory business was starting losing money. Since the business went to a bad situation, the worth of his factories decreased from $100 million to even no more than 20 millions. Okay, one day, Leak facing the bankruptcy of his business, and his factory was forced to sell by the bank and only sold of $10 million. And now Leak still in debt of $20 million. Leak from a millionaire to a heavy debt man. And Tom, okay, the employees of Leak also lost his job without any income. But please remember that Tom still in debt too. Since the economic crisis, it's hard for him to find a new job. And his wife Sophia started to complain about this, since she never realized his bad situation. So one day, Tom and Sophia had a conversation about the bad situation. So decided to sell the properties and try to rent a house with the same standard. And they went to the property agent, which they buy the house. But when they reached the property agent, which they bought the property several years ago, something happened that they can't even imagine. Hundreds of people in the center of waiting room. They all came here to sell their properties. So Sophia feel very unsatisfied and asked the agent come quickly to service them. But the sales, the service Tom and Sophia one, told them, "Oh, sorry, my guys. These guys are all sold of the properties, so you guys need to wait. I need to help another couple who bought 5 million houses from us. Please be patient for waiting." So after hours of waiting, Sarah finally came to service them. But something more unbelievable thing happened that Tom and Sophia even felt they were in dream. Sarah told them the price of their house only can sell for $1 million, not $3 million. This is the market price of now. So let's have a rest and conclude this story again, okay? Why Tom's property can reach from 1 million to 3 million on the peak? Since at that time many people uh, try to borrow the money from bank and borrow the properties. At that time, more people buy the properties, but only less people want to sell. So the property price went to rise since the supply and demand market theory. But now, crisis was coming. Many people lost their jobs and without income, just like Tom. Since many people faced the bankruptcy and their assets was forced to sell by the bank, more and more properties showed in the market. So Tom's house, not enough people want to buy. The price fall a lot. Okay, and let's talk about Sarah. Okay, the sales of properties agent, and she not earn more since the price down. Her commission came from the selling price of the properties. Like the price, if the price is $3 million, and Sarah can make maybe $15,000. But if the price only 1 million, she only got $5,000 for commission. And not only the agent knows the money, the property lawyer also knows the money. Like the lawyer Andy, okay, who helped the Tom to buy the house. Now he only got $1,000 for lawyer fee. Fee since lots of people can't afford higher lawyer fee with $2,000, and even many people in appears with his fee since they didn't have enough income. But okay, let's move to the wheel to the bank system. Since with more and more people can afford the payment of the debits, the income of banks fall a lot. They even can't pay the employees' salaries. The stock price of banks started to fall. Such a bank, okay, before the stock price was $300 billion, but now they only worth $30 billion. Who owned the stocks of the bank lost numerous money, even they will work for the bank. Let's take an example, okay? The CEO of the bank called Maria, okay? She's a very sexy lady, okay? She was the billionaire before the winter coming, you know. She holds over $80 million of stock of the bank, but now only was 5 million. But Maria believed the economic crisis will finally bypass, and the stock price of the bank will rise soon. So she didn't sell her stocks much. Since the crisis went deeper and deeper, Maria's bank is facing the bankrupt, and Maria's stocks down to zero. Okay, from $80 million down to zero because the bankruptcy. Maria went to prison since she caused abuse of power of bank system and for 3 years. So see, folks, how a sad story from a good story, right? We can see that Leek, Tom, Andy, Sarah, and Maria, their wealth fall by the crisis, or even became negative number, or even went to the jail, like Maria, right? So the story just represents when the economic crisis comes, the whole wealth of the society decreases a lot. It's simple that all the wealth based on the huge debts. With the debts more and more, the debt crisis will finally come, of course, right? And will lead to economic crisis. The wealth from empty finally to empty, despair. So okay, folks, this is today's video. I try my best to use the simple ideas to show the reason and the process of the economic crisis. I hope you guys understand and like it. If you guys like it, don't forget to subscribe, like, and leave your comments below. See you tomorrow. See you to next video.